Hello and welcome to the final round of the Radical SR1 Cup for 2016 here at Snetterton in glorious conditions for what should be three exciting races. We've got three drivers in for the championship here this weekend. They include our championship leader, which is James Taylor, second Oliver Barker, and third is going to be that of Kai Wheatley. But which one is going to take the crown? We're going to find out here this weekend with three exciting races to look forward to. Cars coming to the grid then for the first of our races, which we'll see Oliver Barker start from pole position. Alongside him will be Kai Wheatley in car number 7, and then back on row 2 it's the likes of James Taylor and Rob Ellis in car number 12. Final car into place towards the back, that is number 42, which is Paul Pearce, and then when everyone is in place we'll see the green flag from the back, the 5-second board held aloft and ready to go racing then for 20 minutes of action around the full 300 circuit. Red lights come on now and away we go. Good start from most people. Slow start there from, by the looks of it, the number 12 car of Rob Ellis, who just gets avoided by everyone as the rest of the pack turn their way in towards Ritchie's for the first time of asking. And there you can see the number 6 car of Spencer Bourne trying to go right around the outside of Ritchie's corner, which you can normally do. Depends how many people are in front of you and what the action is like up towards the head of the field. Side by side there already between Richard Baxter and James Taylor, who worked their way through nicely at the renamed Wilson corner and head their way down towards the left-hander at Palmer for the first time of asking. But it is number 7 from the outside of the front row, Kai Wheatley, who leads the way. Already early battles within the SR1 Cup, which we can see pretty much all season long. And here comes Kai Wheatley under attack from the pole man, Oliver Baxter. Down the inside line he goes in towards the left-hander Agostini. You can see their side-by-side action as well between Jack Baber and the number 15 car of Tony Barwell. And there you can see the number 12 car, Rob Ellis, being pushed off the grid by the hard-working marshals as ever here at Snetterton. You can then see number 2, James Taylor, who is not in contention for the win at the minute, but we'll see what he can do. The championship leader, as he turns his way on towards the back straight for the first time, puts the pressure already onto number 7, Kai Wheatley, although running slightly wide there, which means he's going to lose some ground on what is one of the longest straights in British motorsport here at Snetterton. Starting to fan out a little bit further back there between number 8, Richard Baxter, and also the number 6 car was involved there as well, working his way through Spencer Bourne. But it is the battle towards the front we want to watch out for here, because number 7 at the minute, Kai Wheatley, starting to feel the pressure from behind on this first lap. James Taylor is just having a little look towards the inside line there to see what he can do as they work their way through Coram in towards the left-hander at Murray's for the first time. And already Kai Wheatley trying his best just to keep the block and the number 2 car at bay here of James Taylor. Gets a great run though through the final corner. He pulls alongside as they work their way up towards the line for the first time of asking to complete lap number 1. And Kai Wheatley are already past there as the number 22 car leads the way. Number 2, James Taylor, now up into second place. Now he's through. Can he try and attack the race leader in this one? At the end of the first lap, the gap already sits at 1.7 seconds. So a great job that Oliver Barker is doing now from pole position. Slides his way through the Wilson hairpin. Second and third, not too much separating them, but as we said, the number 2 car of James Taylor now on his way to try and attack the race leader. Green flags, which would indicate there's been probably an incident at the previous corner at Wilson, but not too sure who that may be. But the top 3 work the way down towards Agostini for a second time. Pretty much equidistant now, so it does mean that the number 2 car of James Taylor is starting to pull away. The man who comes to Snetterton as the championship leader on 184 points. Just around about 30 points back from that is Oliver Barker. So it does mean Oliver Barker needs to do all he can to try and win the championship, pretty much win all 3 races here at Snetterton this weekend, see if he can take the title and the lead of the championship away from James Taylor. There you can see Jack Baber, the man who started on row number 3, finds himself now just outside the top 5 places. As we turn our attention back there to number 48, which is the car of Andy Chittington as well. Not a bad start from Andy, who started way down on row number 5. So here come the leaders then, working their way down towards Brundle and Nelson for a second time. It looks like there a bit of speed has been gained now by the number 48 car, trying to get into the mix here, which is Andy Chittington, not too far off the back of the number 6 machine of Spencer Bourne. So this is another close battle starting to emerge in the Radical SR1 Cup as they turn their way once again on towards Coram Curve. There goes the fight in the field then between the top 2 or 3. Number 7, Kai Wheatley, just starting to lose a little bit more ground now. He's dropped down to 3rd place. Just wondering if he's going to be under pressure here from Andy Chittington. Gap at the front that time round grew slightly to 2.1 seconds. So race leader Oliver Barker just starting to get away as Andy Chitterton looks towards the inside line at Ritchie's there to try and think about a move on the number 6 car, Spencer Bourne. But for now, he's just going to have to sit in his toe and wait to see what happens. Of course, a long way to go within this race, so plenty of time for places to change. Great action from these Radical SR1s, of course, the lower rung on the Radical ladder. Oh, and there's a spin there from number 11 who goes for a full rotation. That is Jack Baber, facing the wrong way, oncoming traffic heading towards him, but it looks like the engine is still fired up on that car, so he should be able to go once again before too much longer. Here comes then the attack from Spencer Bourne, looking towards the inside line. Agostini finds a gap, he gets the car alongside, down the inside, and Kai Wheatley finds himself now back into what's going to be 4th place by the looks of it. He's going to fight back though. A great run through Agostini. They're going to be side by side in towards Hamilton, but again on the proper line through there. Spencer Bourne holds on to the place, and here comes Andy Chitterton to have a little bit of a look as well. Round the outside, he gets 2 places in 1 corner. That's going to be a miraculous move if he can make it happen, which he can't, unfortunately. He drops back down to where he was, but he gave it a great try there, did Andy Chitterton. But now he just has to sit again behind the 2 cars in front of him. Kai Wheatley runs slightly wide on the exit of Chapman Curve once again there, and here's going to be the fight now for one of the podium places by the looks of it. 6:48 and Kai Wheatley round the outside again in towards Nelson. Oh, there's contact between the 2. Round goes number 6, which is the car of Spencer Bourne. He flies off the track. Kai Wheatley is sitting in the middle of the track, and Andy Chitterton came out the best of all of that. He wasn't really involved, but just managed to find a gap through, and Andy Chitterton, who in fact does lose a place there to Richard Baxter, who will move himself up onto the podium at the end of this lap. So he gained 3 places due to all the action that happened in front of him there. So Kai Wheatley, the number 7 car, and also the car that we lost, number 6, Spencer Bourne, hopefully will be able to rejoin before too much longer. See the face and the eyes there of Andy Chitterton. Just shows how hard he's working to try and catch back up with the man who's just passed him. Across the line they go then, the number 8 car of Richard Baxter. The gap between those 2 that time round was just around about a second there, so still a chance for Andy Chitterton to fight for this final step on the podium. So as the 2 cars work their way then round the Wilson hairpin, Andy Chitterton still looking to get closer and closer to the back of the car in front, which is still that of Richard Baxter at the minute as they work their way down through the left-hander at Palmer. But Richard Baxter for now just seems to be getting a little bit of a move on here. Don't think he'll quite catch up with the top 2 for now, because he's quite a substantial 12 seconds back from the top 2, who are very, very quick at the minute. And of course, within this Radical SR1 Cup race, the important thing is you also get a point for the fastest lap as well. So if the man chasing the championship, Oliver Barker, can do that, then he'll gain more points over James Taylor. But we would like James Taylor to be a little bit further back from where he is at the minute. But we'll see what happens towards the end of this race. There is Kai Wheatley then, number 7, who has dropped down the order now, just shy of the top 10. He's on his way back through after that contact just a lap ago. So Kai Wheatley all on his own, clear track ahead, and a little bit of clear track behind as well. There's our leader going through them, which is number 22, Oliver Barker. There is our 2nd place man, number 2 at the minute, James Taylor, championship leader. So he's keeping in touch with Oliver Barker for now as they accelerate their way up towards the line once more. Heading through on this occasion. Let's see if the gap has grown once more as they cross the line. It sits at 4.5 seconds, so definitely going quicker and quicker. There is Oliver Barker coming through there. You can see the man in 5th place, number 15, which was the car of Tony Barwell. And then behind this we can see a great fight going on between 2 further cars, which is number 42 in there, Paul Pierce from the back of the grid, and number 11, Jack Baber, who stream their way up towards the line once more. Let's see if Jack Baber can find a way through. He gets a nice little toe across the line. Can he look towards the inside at Ritchie's corner? Not quite as of yet, but he has got a lot closer on that occasion. The gap is just half a second, so Jack Baber here pushing on very nicely indeed. Just behind them is still the recovering Spencer Bourne as well, who goes a little bit deep into the corner, just trying to get to the inside of those 2 cars ahead. And here comes Jack Baber once more, getting very, very close, looking to the inside line. You can see the brake lights appear from the back of the car. Nice line taken there from the number 11 machine as he worked the way through Palmer. Can he try anything down towards Agostini? That's a prime overtaking manoeuvre at this Snetterton 300 circuit. You can see there as well the number 42 car just looking in the mirrors. Paul Pierce just seeing where Jack Baber may well be. Slight drifting towards the rear of the car just shows that they are working very, very hard indeed. I think the quickest man within this battle is going to be, as we know, number 6, Spencer Bourne. Be the man to look for an inside line very shortly, but it's Jack Baber for now, who is looking very threatening in this fight. Gets a nice tight line through the right-hander at Oggies on towards the back straight. They'll go in straight down the inside line. Goes Jack Baber, and following through as well, the very opportunistic number 6 car of Spencer Bourne, and he may be able to get 2 places in the space of 1 straight here as they work their way down towards Brundle and Nelson, and just like that going through, Spencer Bourne moves himself now up into the top 6. That'll be 6th position for him. Number 11 car Jack Baber down to 7th, and 42 sits there in 8th place, which is Paul Pierce, as we said, from the back of the grid in this Radical SR1 Cup, the first race of the weekend for them as they turn their way down through Coram Curve and on towards the final turn at Murray's. There goes the man just ahead of them, number 15, up there in 5th place. That's the car of Tony Barwell. And is Tony going to be caught here? Well, he may well be by number 6, because we know that Spencer Bourne is very, very quick. He had the early race pace, but of course with that contact he dropped himself quite a way down the field here, so he's going to push on. Let's see what he can do then as they come up towards the line. The gap between them is just under 2 seconds here, so let's see if he can go any quicker. And by the looks of it there as well, Jack Baber may have a little bit of damage on the front part of that car as well, which may be hampering his chase here as they work their way through. It's not much, to be fair, but it's just a little bit to be worried about for Jack. So they turn away in towards Palmer once more. And to be fair for the number 11 car here, he's not letting the number 6 machine of Spencer Bourne get away, is he? He's keeping right on his rear wing as they power the way down towards Agostini once more. And I think, yeah, before too much longer here, number 15, Tony Barwell, is going to be passed by Spencer Bourne. You can see again, clear track ahead of them, so it just shows, and a mistake there from the number 6 machine, just running wide. Does that give the opportunity for Jack Baber to get back into the mix? Nope, not for now. But that was a silly mistake to make from Spencer Bourne, because he needs to be catching up with those ahead. Of course, he's not one of those within contention for the championship, but he still needs to finish as best as he possibly can. So on towards the back straight, they turn once more, slightly wide there from number 11, just got a little bit leery into the corner, but Jack Baber managing to keep where he is. So this fight coming through them into Brundle and Nelson, 5th, 6th and 7th all together, still headed by the number 15 machine, Tony Barwell. As we said, Spencer Bourne a couple of seconds back, but straight away to the eye, you can see that's not 2 seconds as of now, so already on this lap, even with the mistake, the number 6 machine of Spencer Bourne has managed to close the gap, and he's now right with Tony Barwell as they turn away down towards the final corner at Murray's. Can he get a good run? He gets a nice tight line on towards the main straight once more, but can he work his way through? He'll try and get in the toe. He'll probably go for the outside line, because Tony Barwell will hug the wall to try and keep it as hard as possible for number 6 to get through, but Spencer Bourne is going to try and go right around the outside line, which he does. A great move at Richie's corner once again. As we said, that doesn't really work, but if you've got the bravery, it does indeed. So Spencer Bourne now goes through up the order inside the top 5. 6th place is going to be Jack Baber. He's got through as well, actually, on the run from Richie's up towards Wilson. So another change there between those 2 cars. And again, with the number 6 machine of Spencer Bourne going through, has he got any chance of catching the next man in line, which is Andy Chittenden, of course, in car number 48? Well, the gap last time through was just under 20 seconds. So with the time we've got left within the race and the gap that the number 6 machine has got to close down, I don't think it will be possible, but still there's going to be a great tussle going on between these 3. There's number 15 then, Tony Barwell, dropping 2 places in the space of just that 1 straight. So he's now going to sit himself down in what's going to be 7th position. 6th and 5th work their way on towards the back straight once more. And again, Jack Baber doing a grand job of keeping with Spencer Bourne here. He's not going to let this go until the checker flag flies, as they again work their way on towards the Bentley straight. There we can see the race leader doing a grand job, Oliver Barker, who is 2nd in the championship. He needs to win all 3 races, as we said here this weekend, to get the maximum points over James Taylor, who is still there in 2nd position. He comes through now just over 10 seconds back in that number 2 car, but still that should be good enough to keep him ahead after this first race. There goes the fight then for 3rd and 4th, which is indeed a fight, because the number 8 machine of Richard Baxter has now been caught by Andy Chittenden here. So let's see what he can do as they turn their way on towards the Wilson hairpin. The gap again is just less than a second here. It's probably big enough for Richard Baxter not to be worried about Andy Chittenden, because he's still got a long way to go to get past. Then comes the next of our battles, which is still for 5th and 6th places, headed by Spencer Bourne, followed by Jack Baber in car number 11. And then just off the tail of them for the time being is number 15, Tony Barwell. So they'll head their way down towards Palmer once more. Great corner this. You carry as much speed as you possibly can through there. Again, always worrying about not running wide, because that can then hamper your run onto this short straight down towards Agostini, which again is a sweeping, quite wide hairpin to be fair. Great redevelopment of the Snetterton circuit a few years ago, which lends itself now to some great racing. There we can see Jack Baber then sits in the sandwich for now, but as we said, not really being caught by Tony Barwell behind, but definitely making some inroads into Spencer Bourne. Again, through the right-hander onto the back straight they go, carrying more and more speed now, so they're just starting to gradually work their way from Tony Barwell. As here comes our race leader onto what's going to be now the last lap of this first Radical SR1 Cup race. Oliver Barker turns his way up towards the first part of the lap, and yet to start that last lap is this fight, which is ongoing for one person to finish with inside the top 5. At the minute it's going to be the number 6 car of Spencer Bourne, but the man chasing hard here is Jack Baber again across the line. Works his way up towards the first corner. Hasn't done that many races this year, Jack Barber, but he is on for one of his best performances of the season, which is great to see. So he goes up towards the first couple of corners, and this is the fight that continues again for the final step on the podium. But who is going to have it? Is it going to be Richard Baxter, or is it going to be the man chasing and close this gap down? He got a little bit lucky earlier in the race, of course, worked his way through the incident that happened between the likes of Kai Wheatley and Spencer Bourne. Oh, and there's a spin there on this last lap for number 15, which is Tony Barwell. So he's trying to catch. He was a little bit distant, but he's gone and made a slight mistake at the Wilson hairpin there. So he's going to be passed by number 7, which is Kai Wheatley. Here's a replay as well of Spencer Bourne, who has also had a moment, which means he will drop down the order outside the top 5. So that means Jack Barber will progress up the order inside on this last lap. As through the final corner is going to come this man, the man who sits second in the championship. He needs to win all races here this weekend at Snetterton. He's done the first part of the job by winning this one here. As he comes up towards the flag, it's going to be a win for Oliver Barker in car number 22. Who takes the honours. He's delighted with that. You can see fist out the cockpit, shows his appreciation and gets the applause from the spectators as well. Second place coming through, our championship leader, which is James Taylor. He progressed up 1 place from his starting grid, so he finishes in second place, and again very happy with that result. And who is going to get the final step on the podium? It's between these two cars then that come down towards the final corner at Murray's. Through the left-hander they turn. Richard Baxter, I think, has just got enough in hand here to hold on ahead of Andy Chittenden in car number 48. So they head their way up towards the line, and it will be a sterling effort to get himself onto the podium for Richard Baxter in car number 8, with Andy Chittenden coming through there just behind him in 4th position. So well done to all of the front runners, giving us some great racing, and of course further down as well, some great racing throughout that one. But it is Oliver Barker who takes the win by 23 seconds in the end. Second place going to our championship leader James Taylor. Third place was Richard Baxter in car number 8, just ahead of Andy Chittenden. Then Jack Baber, Spencer Bourne, Paul Pearce from the back up to 7th. Kai Wheatley was 8th, Tony Barwell into 9th, and Peter Devlin rounding out your top 10. There you can see our top 3 then onto the podium. Third place man Richard Baxter. A handshake as well for our second place man, which is James Taylor. And as always, the drivers are very happy, so they congratulate each other. But it is this man, Oliver Barker, who works his way onto the top step and gets a big round of applause from all the spectators in front of the podium. And he picks himself up 40 points as well. What can he do in races 2 and 3? We'll find out a little bit later on. For now, though, on the podium with them is Alan Hyde.
Step down for me, Oliver. Things went well in qualifying. They carried through into the race as well. Supreme.
Yeah, it was a great race for me. Concentrated on getting a great start, and I just dropped into second, but managed to get into first. And then it was just a matter of just putting in the lap times. And towards the end, it was just a matter of trying to keep concentration and keep the lap times up.
The windows got up as well. Does that affect things or not?
It does make the car move about, especially at the high-speed straights.
Okay, as far as the car is concerned, happy with it, not going to do anything. You've got a busy day potentially today.
Yeah, the car's running really well. It's been set up really well by the team, so I'm happy with it.
Top man, well done, many congratulations. What about second place? Stories from James Taylor. You got a smile on your face.
Yeah, I really can't complain. Got a good start, and it's really close between me and Oliver and Kai at the start, but there's a lot at stake championship-wise, so I always had that at the back of my mind. So one of my more cautious drives of the season, I think.
With a championship, you do need to try and work out what do you do. Do you have a conservative race? Do you take things easy? But obviously the natural instinct is to go for it, isn't it?
I think you just have to take each race as it comes and try and do as well as you can in each one. You can get caught up in doing sums sometimes when it's better to just
You
race.
did nothing silly.
Thank you.
Well done, congratulations. What about Richard? You had to really work for that, so the delight on your face is real delight.
Yeah, that felt like hard work, but also it's my first podium. So
Yeah, well done. Welcome to it.
yeah, it just feels awesome. So thank you to Nielsen for setting up my car. It was really awesome, actually. I had a bit of a difficult start. Like I felt like I bogged down a little bit. It was a bit slow off. And then a few turns in, I was racing one of my teammates, and I exited a corner in third gear, and it just felt so slow. And then I had a spin, but I managed to recover it, and I'm just really happy with it.
No, that answers the question. We wondered why you dropped down, but then you did a great job of getting it back.
Yeah, so I'm just really happy. It's awesome to be up here. Yeah.
Well done. Congratulations. Well done to all.
So that's it for race 1 here at Snetterton for the Radical SR1 Cup. You can see races 2 and 3 here on Radical TV on the Radical website.